But that trade that I just described, that trade, that spy for spies trade, that is at the heart of this absolutely epic surprise announcement made by the President of the United States today. I mean, there had been signs that something was going to happen, that maybe something was going on. Little signs. Tony Blinken, this guy, when he was up for confirmation for the senior State Department job, which he just got confirmed for this week, one of the things he got asked about at his confirmation hearing was about the chatter in Washington that something was about to happen on the issue of Cuba. So maybe that was a little bit of a sign that on the Hill they were hearing chatter. In October, the Vatican had hosted Cuban officials and American officials to talk about issues of mutual concern. The Vatican, in fact, seemed intensely interested on matters of Cuban-U.S. relations. John Kerry met with the foreign minister from the Vatican just a few days ago, where they, we're told, discussed issues related to Cuba. And now we learn that all along, over the past several weeks and months, the nation of Canada has been hosting secret meetings between U.S. officials and Cuban officials about what was announced today in this shocker of an announcement. But it has culminated with this. Yesterday, we're told, there was the first direct contact between an American president and a Cuban leader since the 1959 revolution that brought Fidel Castro to power. Raul Castro spoke directly with President Obama on the phone yesterday. We're told for about 45 minutes. They talked directly. That itself is historic. Then today, America's still unnamed spy in Cuba was flown from Cuba to the United States, and the 3 Cuban spies held by America were flown from the United States back to Cuba. Both countries' presidents addressed their nations simultaneously at noon East Coast time today. Both presidents thanked their spies for their good work and expressed appreciation and thanks for their spies being brought home. In addition to the spy exchange, an American subcontractor who had worked for USAID, Alan Gross, who'd been held in a Cuban prison for the last 5 years. Alan Gross was also flown home today. This was officially announced as a release on humanitarian grounds. And indeed, Mr. Gross was thought to be in worrying decline in terms of his health, although he was elated to be released today and returned to his family. In addition to Alan Gross being released on humanitarian grounds, the Cuban government also today agreed to release 53 other prisoners. 53 other prisoners who Cuba calls run-of-the-mill criminals, but the United States considers to be political prisoners. So that big trading of the spies and all those prisoner releases, those were the transactional details at the heart today of this big breakthrough announcement. The United States cut off diplomatic relations with Cuba in 1961. Today, our diplomatic relations were restored by order of President of the United States. The United States will now move to open an embassy in Cuba for the first time since the Eisenhower administration. Cuba will open an embassy here. Travel restrictions will be somewhat relaxed. Cuban Americans will be able to send more money home. Our government and the Cuban government will start taking on, talking about a host of diplomatic issues, including terrorism and whether or not Cuba should be kept on the list of state sponsors of terror.